Today I want to talk about what is the difference between marketing and sales. Because I think there's some confusion, particularly in the logistics industry. Small businesses typically don't understand the difference between marketing and sales. So today we're going to talk about that. And I'm actually going to have a bonus offer. If you stay with me all the way to the end of this, hopefully we're not going to be more than 10 or 15 minutes. Stay all the way to the end with me. I'm going to give you a free bonus offer, but you got to stay all the way to the end. I'm going to tell you how to collect that bonus. And it has to do with my top 5 lead generation strategies for freight brokers. So that's how to generate leads. It has to do with marketing on how to generate leads as a freight broker. So as we wait for a few people to get on, again, my name is Dennis Brown. I'm the owner of FreightBrokerBootcamp.com. I've been a broker. I started my first brokerage back in 2003. Was very, very blessed. Went on to grow that company to over $80 million in sales. Sold that company to pursue other ventures, but I'm still the owner of FreightBrokerBootcamp.com, which is the premier online, most cost-effective and comprehensive online freight broker and freight agent training program online. Feel free to check that out if you have time. If you enjoy what you hear today, give me some thumbs up. Share the stream. That would be awesome. And I would love it if you would type into the chat box the city and state that you are watching from, that you're logging in from. I love to hear people from all over the country, even other countries that are logging in to check out some of this free freight broker training. So without further ado, if you're not catching this live, you're going to have to catch it in replay, but that's okay too. So anyway, today the question is, what is the difference between marketing and sales? Again, like I said, there's a lot of confusion, particularly in the small business environment. Large companies have marketing departments and sales departments, and they have marketing budgets and they have sales budgets, right? And typically they're siloed, meaning they're very separate. In smart companies, they work together. The greatest part about small business is that, if you're smart and you understand marketing, let me tell you this. One of my biggest mistakes in my career as an entrepreneur is not understanding and appreciating the difference between sales and marketing for a very, very long time. The first 10 years of my career, I was just a sales machine. I didn't know that much about marketing. I was fumbling my way through it. And then the last 10 to 15 years of my career, I really grew to understand and appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about that. So in a nutshell, I'm going to give you the very short version. In a nutshell, the difference between sales and marketing is this. Marketing is getting your buyer's attention. Okay? Marketing is getting their attention. It's getting them to raise their hand. It's getting them to stand out from the crowd. It's influencing them. All right? That's the objective, right? So marketing is getting your buyer's attention. That can come in a variety of different forms. Sales, on the other hand, is all about closing the deal, which is followed up with a transaction. All right? So it's typically, that is the difference. Marketing is getting their attention, and sales is more about closing the deal, which leads to a transaction. In the freight brokerage business, that leads to loads. You're tendered loads by your customers. You cover those loads. You pay the carrier, you bill your customer, and you make the margin. If you're an agent, you get paid a commission on the loads that you move. So again, that's the biggest difference between the two. So, what exactly are some of the difference between marketing activities and sales activities? So some typical marketing activities in a small business include, having a website, right? Having a website is marketing, right? You're doing online marketing. You're making information available to people online. So I think it's very important as a broker that you have a very good website and that you develop that website, right? And you pay attention to that website and you promote that website. That's marketing. Other activities are social media. So, things like Twitter, things like Facebook, things like LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, all kinds of different things. In the B2B space, where freight brokers are, because we're a business selling to a business. I'm all about Twitter and LinkedIn. I think those are the two best for business to business. Facebook is good, very good, but you typically have to spend money. You got to advertise, right? So that's a little bit different. But I would say Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, which is my specialty, as you guys probably know, are the social media pieces that are marketing. That's marketing activity. Webinars. You guys, some of you have probably been on webinars, right? That I've done webinars. This is almost like a webinar. This is more like video training than a webinar, but webinars are very, very powerful strategy. I'll tell you something really funny. And you may never believe me, but I don't really care if you do or don't, because it's a fact. Here's the deal. One of the first webinars I ever did was back, I don't even know. It was probably back in, I don't know, maybe 2010, 2011, somewhere in there. And it was one of the first webinars I ever did in the freight brokerage industry. And in that webinar, the leads that I generated from that webinar, because I agreed to put some content together, people had to register to go to the webinar, they showed up live, we did a training, and I gathered leads. That's marketing, right? Those are lead generation strategies, right, that I use to generate leads for my sales team. That's marketing. The leads that we generated from that webinar, within 12 months after that webinar, would generate over $5 million. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Over $5 million came from the leads that we generated from that one webinar. So that's an example of the power of marketing. Okay. Now, sales had to go in and have a conversation with those people because we captured their information. We, then followed up with them via sales, and then sales closed the deal. Again, that's the difference. Marketing gets their attention. Sales closes the deal. Some other marketing activities that you might use: trade shows. Trade shows are very common in B2B marketing. There's a ton of trade shows. It's a great way to generate leads. You got to go to the right trade shows. They have to be very targeted. But you can either go there as an observer or you can get a booth. It depends upon your budget, upon your strategy. But that's another great strategy. Direct mail. Some people think direct mail is dead. To be honest with you, it's not, because a lot of people, now you get less direct mail now than you used to, because the internet is becoming more busy, and direct mail is less busy, so you can get people's attention with the right type of direct mail, okay? Other things, so we talk about websites, social media, webinars, direct mail, trade shows, print advertising, right? Advertising on print. I'm not a big print guy. I don't really like print advertising, but it's a form of marketing, right? I would prefer to do social media advertising on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter as opposed to doing traditional print media or television. So those are some marketing activities. Sales activities are really things like what? It's when you start, it's three components to me. It's phone calls when you're talking to your prospects. It's meetings when you're talking and meeting with your prospects. And it's negotiations. It's negotiating deals, negotiating the final terms of a sale, whatever that may be for, in the freight brokerage industry. Typically that comes down to service level and price, which is just like any other business. So those are a couple of the differences between, marketing and sales. And so, again, I'd love to hear where you guys are logging in from. For those of you that are just getting in here now, again, my name is Dennis Brown. I'm the owner of FreightBrokerBootcamp.com. And, I started my freight brokerage back in 2003, was very, very blessed, grew that business to over $80 million in sales before I later sold it to pursue other ventures. And I now do consulting in the B2B space for marketing, sales, and lead generation. And so I wanted to share with you today, what is the difference between marketing and sales? And as I said earlier, marketing, in a nutshell, marketing is how you get people's attention, right? Is getting the buyer's attention. And sales is closing the deal, which leads to a transaction. So for those of you that are on, give me the city and state where you're logging in from. Share the stream. Greatly appreciate it if you guys appreciate this. give me some thumbs up. That would be awesome as well. For those of you that stick around to the end, I am going to have a bonus offer. I am going to give you my 5 top lead generation strategies for freight brokers. So I'm going to give you the my top 5 lead generation strategies for freight brokers, but you got to stick around all the way to the end to learn how you can get that. Okay? So I'm going to, we've been on here for, I don't even know how now, but I'm willing to field a couple of questions. I got to run. I've only got a few minutes, but if you guys have questions, feel free. I'm going to check out and see how the stream is going. Check out and see what questions we got coming in here. If anybody has any questions, type them into the box. That would be great. We've got David Guzman from Houston. We got Jesus coming in from Dallas. What else do we got? Let's see who else we got here. We got Samuel coming in, who just got his broker's license. Congratulations, Samuel. Let's see who else we got. We got Teray. We got, let's see. David, Samuel, Teray. Awesome. Marcus. Geez, we got a whole bunch of people here. We got Herman, David, Raphael. Lots of people in here, so greatly appreciated. So, questions. Does anybody have any questions? Teray says, thanks. Dying to get customers. Had our permits for like 2 months and nothing yet. Okay. Well, you got to hustle, Teray. You got to pick up that. You got to do what I taught you. Find your niche. Identify your niche. Make a list of prospects. And at that point, you got to get dirty. And what I mean by that is you got to pick up the phone and either have a strategy on how you can create a warm call or a cold call. And I want you to pay close attention because I'm working on, here, just so you guys, I'm going to give you a little teaser. I'm working on a sales and marketing training that I'm going to provide you guys, that I'm going to offer you guys. Now, it's not ready yet. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I am going to do that. And it's going to be specifically geared towards freight brokers and freight agents. So it's a sales and marketing training, a course that can allow you guys to leverage the types of strategies that allowed me to grow from startup with 0 revenue to over $80 million in sales. Okay, so I'm going to share that with you guys, but you got to give me some time on it. All right. So if there isn't any questions, let's see. Can I partner up with someone that already has a broker's license and broker bond and still have my own company name? David, so what you're saying is you want to be an agent, but you still want to have your own company name and your own brand. You can do that. It can be a little bit confusing. Let me share with you why. So let's say, for example, you're an agent for XYZ company. Let's call it Landstar, just because everybody knows who Landstar is, okay? Say you're a Landstar agent and you're trying to work under Guzman Logistics, okay, hypothetically. So when you're calling shippers, you're introducing yourself as Guzman Logistics. When you're talking to carriers, you're introducing yourself as Guzman Logistics. But when a shipper gets a bill, they're going to get a bill from Landstar, not Guzman, because Landstar, as an agent, Landstar is typically going to take care of that for you. When you're talking to a carrier, you're going to introduce yourself as Guzman Logistics, but when they get your carrier setup packet, it's going to say Landstar. And when they bill you, they're going to bill Landstar. So if you understand my point, it can be a little bit confusing when agents try to operate under their own brand. Now, if it's a company name. So here's what I suggest. Make you the brand. You are more important than the company name because the relationships that you develop with clients, see, here's the thing. People do business with people they know, like, and trust. They don't do business with companies. They do business with people. So you, as David Guzman, as the agent for Landstar, is fine. If you ever choose at some point in the future to migrate out and get your own authority, well, then you're still David Guzman with Guzman Logistics if you decide to do that in the future. If not, you're always the brand. People, I will tell you right now, if you're an agent for a company, not very often is that company ever going to be able to take that customer from you because they're not doing business with them. They're just billing them. They're paying the carriers. They're doing the paperwork on the back end. The relationship you have with them trumps everything. So I hope that answers your question. I hope that helps you out Raphael, I'm starting a Facebook page. Did you recommend to pay for advertising, get more likes? Okay, Raphael. Facebook advertising, I think, can be incredibly powerful. I use Facebook advertising, but it's very confusing. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not easy. And getting likes is not going to necessarily lead to leads. There's a difference between getting likes and leads, okay? So with that in mind, I would be really careful of investing a lot of money into Facebook until you have a good foundation of how to do Facebook advertising. What I would probably be more likely to suggest for you, Raphael, would be to go to LinkedIn and not advertise as much, but understand the concepts of how to position yourself as a thought leader, how to find your target market, how to connect and engage with them, with your buyers, with shippers and traffic managers and logistics managers, and then develop a relationship that you can convert offline into the real world. I would be much more likely to suggest you go that direction than Facebook advertising, especially if it's early in the game. Okay, so that's just my suggestion. I hope that helps. So if there are any other questions, feel free to shoot them in. If you're catching this on the replay, feel free to fire off your question anyway, because I come back into these posts regularly and I'll answer those questions either in the post or I'll private message you. And for those of you that stayed on all the way to the end, I want to thank you. And I'm going to tell you how is there anybody here? Well, hopefully not everybody's sleeping, but give me a big thumbs up and share the stream if you guys want the bonus offer. If you guys want the bonus offer, which is my 5 favorite and best lead generation strategies for freight brokers. Okay? Thumbs up, share the stream, and I'm going to tell you. So I got a few thumbs up. So let's see. So we've got some people that are engaged here, which is great. That keeps me going, guys. I know I don't shoot these videos as often as I should. I'd love to do 1 or 2 a week. But the more engagement I get, the more, I want to come back on here and share with you guys. So I appreciate all you guys being in here. So with that in mind, here's all I want you to do, guys. What I want you to do is I want you to type in the comment, okay? I want you to type in the comment box. I want you to type in the comment. I want you to put top 5. I want you to write top 5. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to private message you at some point here in the next 24 or 48 hours how you can get that bonus. Okay, so I want you to, anybody that types top 5 into the chat box from this point forward, I will private message you and I will give you instructions on how you can get that bonus offer, which is my top 5 favorite and most profitable lead generation strategies for freight brokers and freight agents. So with that in mind, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. And again, just thank you for being here. Appreciate you being a part of the Freight Broker Bootcamp community. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box, and we will see you guys soon.